I'm John Batchelor. This is the John Batchelor Show. Tim Tate is the co-author with Ingrid von Oelhoffen of a new book, Hitler's Forgotten Children, a true story of the Lebensborn program. Tim is also the producer and filmmaker of a film entitled Children of the Master Race, which very much follows this story. You can see it, and as it explicates worlds within worlds. Significant to me is that I can't view it in the United States, which is flabbergasting. Why not, Tim? What is keeping me away from your creation?
Very simply, the German government. The film I made is a documentary. It tells the story of a number of Lebensborn children and follows their lives. Not Ingrid, though I met her during the making of the film. The film has a lot of archive film in it. It has Nazi newsreel and Nazi propaganda films, all of which I sourced and are viewable at the U.S. National Archive, just outside Washington, D.C. But British law annulled the copyright, the German original Nazi copyright in that, which means I can broadcast that in the UK. I can use it within a documentary and broadcast it, and there's no problem. If I want to do so outside the UK, I have to pay truly enormous fees to a company set up by the German government to collect money for the broadcasting of Nazi propaganda films.
You're looking at newsreels, correct? You're not looking at private films. Newsreels, these were broadcast at the time in Germany.
Yeah, it's newsreel and propaganda film are pretty much the same thing in the Nazi era.
Right. But I just want to make sure that they were broadcast. They were seen by millions at the time, and they're being now controlled by the German government for a fee to show them again.
For quite substantial fees. It would have cost tens of thousands of dollars for me to clear the rights to show that for this film internationally.
We're not going to solve this. We're just explicating, because we now go to the Lebensborn Society. This is a man by the name of Himmler. You've heard of him as a Reichsfuhrer. He was also a man who joined the Nazi Party a little late. He wasn't early to it, the NSDAP. He was number 14,303. He, however, rose quickly from the ranks to the point where Hitler blessed him to be the head of the Schutzstaffel, that's the SS. But at the same time, Himmler had an obsession, a mania, a peculiar interpretation of reality having to do with a pseudoscience of the period called eugenics. This matches up with the population decline in Germany in general and Tim's reporting here, 35.8 per thousand in 1900 to 14.7 per thousand in 1932. Of course, this was worldwide, great global recession. There was starvation and concerns and turmoil everywhere. But in any event, Himmler's response to this was the Lebensborn program. And Tim, the documents that you reproduce in your book are frightening, but at the same time breathtaking, because I feel like I'm wandering into a science fiction novel. Did you feel like that when you were researching this?
It felt like Alice Through the Looking Glass. It's bizarre, and yet eugenics, as you say, was a widely held belief worldwide, not just in Germany. And Himmler's take on this was that good blood. There is good blood and bad blood, and good blood is Aryan blood. It's uncontaminated, Nordic, good blood, and that has to be preserved and continued, and a new generation created with it.
In 1933, Himmler's direction, they pass a law in Germany, law for the preservation of hereditary diseases, of hereditarily diseased offspring. This is very much a permission to sterilize and to murder. However, that is a piece of the Lebensborn program, because what Hitler has in mind is, the quote here from the document in Tim's book, to regenerate life for Germany. He eventually brings in Rudolf Hess, the explanation as they correspond, and parts of the correspondence are reproduced in the book. This is beyond the limit of bourgeois law. At that point, Tim, I had the sense that Himmler and Hess and others corresponding about this knew that they were wandering into criminality. They're looking to rationalize it in some fashion. when Himmler says we'll produce 600 regiments in the future. They're aware that this has to be kept secret. Isn't that why Himmler never reproduces that one document where he lays it all out?
I think it's less to do with criminality, because they simply weren't concerned with laws. More to do with the actual social makeup of Germany at the time was very conservative and was very almost Puritan still. And what Himmler was proposing from the earliest days was that women who had children out of wedlock, who had illegitimate children, should not be stigmatized. They should be welcomed in these Lebensborn homes, and they should have the best treatment, because if they were racially pure, in his words, so that their babies, their illegitimate babies, could become the next generation of the master race. And he even encouraged his SS to procreate outside marriage, to create more children.